Whoa. Hey guys. I'm right here. Mike's right here. I'm right here. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the stream. Hold on, let me try a different camera angle. Try this one. Oh, it looks so weird and dark. That's fine. Hey guys. Sorry, I'm sorting this out. Okay, that's way too low. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the end of Duumu. Thank you, Innocent, for the sub. Hi, Innocent. Smile. Mike face reveal. Hey, gamers. Welcome to the end of Duumu. And what we're going to be talking about, we're literally not going to be making music today. I'm just going to be talking about this decision, answering questions. I got a bunch of them on Instagram, and feel free to post them in the chat. I'll make sure to answer any questions you might have. But let's, well, start off by addressing what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, I just a couple days ago decided to retire the Duumu alias. Why are you trying to mourn? I'm sorry. Yeah, so just a couple days ago, I announced that I am retiring the Duumu alias at the end of this year. It's a decision that I've been sitting on announcing for almost actually over a year now. And it's been very difficult, to be honest, to hide this from you guys because it's a big decision and I've had to dance around the question and sort of like, you know, turn down opportunities and stuff like that without really being able to say why. So it is a weight off of my chest to finally put it out there. But yeah. I'm not really sure how to talk about this. I guess we can do like a timeline. So, you know what? I'm going to pull up the Instagram story where I asked people to ask me questions. We're going to answer those and we're going to go from there. And you guys can ask any questions that you want answers to in the chat. Oh, this is very cute. So I've opened my Instagram and I'm opening my story archives, and the story that I made a year ago is just a picture of Ableton Live, and I put this in. Oh, can you see that? Here you go. Come on, webcam. Okay, it says might be cheesy, but I'm genuinely never happier than when I'm making music. That's nice. Okay. You are going to change the Duumu Twitter handle? No. So all of my socials are going to stay as they are. I don't have a new official Twitter account. I have a personal Twitter account, which those of you who know about it, but it's not really somewhere that I'm posting about music, so, you know. Let me turn on the proper light. It's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, so let me pull up these questions and we'll go from there. So, the first question is from Inflake. Are those DT770s? They are DT990s. Hello. Okay. So the first question is from Inflake, and he asks, when was the idea of leaving the Duumu project, when did that come about? So I actually went back and found the exact conversation I had with my manager. So let me pull that up for you and show you. Here it is. Here we go. So this is the conversation I had with my manager the day 26th of September 2020 is the day that I brought it up to my manager that I wanted to stop the Duumu project. So I sent him this 4-minute long voice message where I explained to him, you know what? Why don't we go find it? I'll just copy whatever is here. Sure, let me gather my thoughts a bit. Let's go find it. Really? That's what he said. Do I really have to manually scroll? I can't. I'm not going to scroll all the way up. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm just not going to do that. Okay. Anyway. Let's leave my private messages. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, this guy, Adam Rose, is my manager, and he has been for the past almost 4 years now. And I brought up I sent him this long voice message. I don't think it has search by date. Yeah, it'll be a new feature. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so I sent him a long voice message, and his initial reaction was actually pretty good. So Adam Rose, has been managing me for...
Duumu is dead. Long live Duumu.
Long live Duumu. Adam's been managing me for going on 4 years. I signed with him at the start of 2018. Him and his agency, which is 110 Agency, a great management company. They're awesome. They also manage Mern and a few other cool artists, such as Sun and Hans, who you may be familiar with. So I brought it up to him, and his initial reaction was actually fairly positive and nice. He essentially said, like, it was essentially full support. So that's sort of when the initial idea for leaving the project behind came about. It was September 26th, 2020. I mean, I had been thinking about it for a while beforehand. There were tweets on on my private Twitter account with just my close friends of me mentioning that I might want to quit Duumu. So it's been a while. It was sort of building up throughout most of 2020, and I guess around September is when I decided to bring it up to my manager and sort of make it official and tell him, like, this is where I'm at. Like I feel like I've lost my connection to the project. It's becoming a bit of a chore. I've had to, compromise a lot of stuff. And yeah, it's just, yeah. So the idea for leaving the Duumu project came about in September 2020, September 26th, 2020. So that's how long I've been hiding it, I guess, from you guys, is over a year and a month. So 13 months I've been hiding it. Someone asks, will you have any upcoming Monster Cat releases? No. So as I said, I had to hide a lot of stuff from you guys as long as this project was... Hold on, it's very distracting to speak with the music so loud for me. Let me turn it down. Just for me. I had to hide a lot of things. Was there a Q&A? There was, but I'll answer questions from the chat as well, Pat, don't worry. I've had to hide a lot of things from you guys for the last year, and it was a little bit weird, and as I said, I had to dance around a lot of weird and awkward questions and sort of ignore comments that I couldn't really answer without it making it obvious that I was quitting the project. Yeah, in the interest of full disclosure, the EP that's coming out tomorrow, the After You EP, is the final release as Duumu. And so there will not be any other Monster Cat releases from me. And that's that. So there's a bunch of people asking me, what are you planning to do after Duumu? What genre of music are you headed towards? What are your future plans? What goals are you attempting next? Well, for those of you who are aware, I also, a big thing that I do now is producing for other artists. So I've shown this on stream before. I have a playlist. It's on both my Spotifys. So on the Charlie Spotify, if you scroll down, you've got Written by Charlie, and on the Duumu Spotify, it's over here. So these are songs that I've produced and written for other people. So, and that's also, if you go to the Linktree/Duumu link that I put in, that's the website. This is my production website. So that's a big part of what I'm going to be doing in the future is focusing on that, which is like just, you know, focusing on producing for other people. It's something that I really truly enjoy doing. It's something that I started doing. I mean, I started doing it ages ago. The original demo for this track, the track with Danica, who is Danica Nadeau, by the way, the original demo for it dates back to 2019. If I look for DN Thinking About Us, yeah. So actually this, 1909-08. It was very different sounding back then. Let me play you a little bit, just so you can sort of get an idea for what I'm doing next and where my focus is. This was the original demo from 2019. I made the CharlieCarrata.com website. Thank you for your support. It sounded like this back in the day.
We lose control. What let a good thing go when we were so deeply involved? I need you more than you would know.
Oh my god, look at that. 2018 was the first version, it seems. That's version 1. Then we have so that, and then it turned into this final song. So I didn't do this final version. It's the other producer, Chris, who did this final version. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer my version. It's a bit more clear, but whatever. But yeah, so this is a big thing that I do. It's the kind of the main thing that I do these days, is producing for other people. Just recently, I produced a song for my friend Marion.
Months past overdue, except as easy as ooh. I've been real good at pretending I'm my best when I'm not around you. Tell me how I can't stop, keep it right in my thought. If I were really over you, then why do I keep running through?
There's that one. This song was really cool and fun to make. It was more of like a punk song. So there's a bit of everything in what I do here. There's so much more that's like not out yet that I can't show you, of course, because it's not even my music. But you know, we've got some R&B, there's some punk rock, there's some like housey pop.
Black eyes making you bleed. So in the meantime, you can put this on me. I can set you free. I can make you see. I make you believe. Just put this on me. I fulfill.
You know, stuff like that. I worked on Sleeping on My Own Again by Mern. That was partially written and produced by me, which most people don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do now as a main thing, is producing for other people. And that's something I'm going to keep focusing on a lot. And yeah, so that's part of the future. I'm also going to be continuing the Charlie project, or I'm calling it a project, but it's just like a like I don't ever see myself quitting the Charlie project. Maybe I'll stop making music for it one day, but it just it's just me. I just do whatever I want on there. But yeah, so the future for me right now just is essentially producing for other people, producing and writing for other people, and continuing my music on Charlie. So there you go. IRC, you said you started producing for others because the style you wanted to make differed from what was expected of you. So how many songs over the years did you not put out as Duumu for these reasons? So many. Oh my god, so many songs. Oh my god. You have no idea how much music I haven't put out. I made a song with Dobie. Literally this year, I made a song with Dobie. We're not putting that one out. I made 200 songs in 2020 alone. Literally, like, there are 200 audio files in my 2020 folder, and it's there's just so much music that will never see the light of day because it didn't fit on any project. But yeah, Duumu x Dobie. Yeah, maybe I'll show you a little clip of Duumu x Dobie during the stream at some point. But yeah, I talk about this in a YouTube video that I made on my Charlie channel, which is the reason why songwriters do what they do, and like that's a huge thing, is like not being able to make the music that I want to make because I have expectations are set for me as Duumu to make, electronic music or whatever. And sure, I could just say fuck it and release, songs anyway, but what's the point of doing that when I could just as easily give the song to one of my friends or an artist that I look up to, and they put it out and they're better in that field, and so they enhance the song with their contributions, and then I get to put out music in the world that that wouldn't fit Duumu. It's difficult to explain if you're not really in it, but I think anybody who has an artist project that they care about gets where I'm coming from, in that, like, sure, I could put out that dubstep song that I made last year at some point on Duumu if I really wanted to, but it just wouldn't feel right. It just wouldn't feel right. Let me scroll up and answer some of the Twitch questions because they're moving, whereas these are here permanently. I saw one up here. No? Okay. Oh yeah, so the Duumu social media is going to stay as it is. The Twitter's going to stay up. The Instagram's going to stay up. My Patreon, I'm going to change the name on Patreon from Duumu to just Charlie. The Discord will stay up and it will remain the Duumu Cord. I don't want to change the name of it. It's it's part of its identity as the Duumu Cord. Yeah. Path asked, what was your favorite project from the Duumu era? To be honest, it's the EP that's coming out literally in an hour and a half for us here in France, and tomorrow for you guys in the US. The After You EP is my favorite project I've made in the Duumu era. If we're talking past releases, the Talk EP is up there. Breathe Again is one of the big ones. All for Nothing as well. I love a lot of the songs that I put out under Duumu. There's just also a lot of them that kind of fell under the radar for me, and that's what it is. Thank you, Sai, for the tier 1 sub. Thank you for throwing me some money. Let's see. Est-ce que le projet Duumu ne t'enferme pas dans une catégorie, dans un style? Est-ce qu'avec Charlie, en produisant pour les autres, tu ne peux pas faire ce que tu... Yeah, so what Innocent said in French is, essentially, Duumu is, constraining me to a style, whilst with Charlie and with producing for other people, I get to just do whatever I want and make music in the style that, like, I'm currently listening to. That's one thing about artist projects, is just like, you have to, like, of course your sound has to evolve over time to sort of stay with whatever is popular and trendy, but also, like, it has to stay within that style, right? And I don't listen to much electronic music these days anymore. And the fact that I have a project that's just electronic music is super weird, considering that fact. If you hadn't met me before, and, like, you met me now, and I listen to all this pop music and hip hop and, whatever, and then I'm like, yeah, I have an electronic music project. It's super strange. And it's, again, it's one of those things where, of course, I could just break away from those boundaries and just do whatever I want anyway. And to an extent, I do that on Charlie, where I release mostly lo-fi and ambient, but then every now and again I'll throw in a song like, what's it called? Staring at the Ceiling, which is like a pop song. But with Duumu, it's just a project that didn't feel like it was fluid enough for me to be able to do that. I just said something. I'm very new to the community and I've grown to love the Duumu music, though I'm sad there won't be any new music releases. Duumu, I am more happy for you, Charlie, and I hope to be able to listen to more music by you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Well, as I said, the Duumu Chord's not going anywhere. These live streams aren't going anywhere. I'm not disappearing. My Instagram, Charlie Makes Music, right here. This Instagram is going to remain active, and that I'll be posting about any new songs that I've produced, any new songs that I'm releases under Charlie, and you know, you'll get to. I've got so much music coming. You have no idea. My favorite music that I've made is all on the way. It's just for other people, so I can't really talk about it until it's out there or at least announced. So, yeah. Getting a lot of lovely messages. Maybe only a second. Maybe only second to close to you. Oh, could you? Yeah. Thank you. Didn't you change the edgy to Charlie Makes Music? Yeah, I did. And then I realized I actually really didn't like the way that looked. So I changed it back to Charlie Makes Music _. It's whatever. We don't talk about it. Are you producing any more songs on Marion's new album? So on Marion's album that's coming out soon, that song, Pause and Reset, is the only song I produced. On Marion's next album that she's now working on, I'll be producing a lot more music. I'm also producing, and I think a lot of you will be happy about this because I know a lot of people are a big fan of Duumu and Emiya. I have been and will continue to produce a ton of music for Emiya and with Emiya. We're continuing to make a ton of music together. This year we've made more music together than ever before, and they're all amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear them. Do you think there'll be any overlap between Duumu songs and the music which you will be producing in the future? Or more like how much overlap? I don't think there will be any overlap because here's the thing. As I said, I don't listen to much electronic music these days anymore, and I don't really make much electronic music these days anymore. The closest like overlap that you might get is like if I get asked to make a garage track, which as anybody who watched me throughout 2020 knows that I made a lot of garage and I still enjoy making. That's about the only electronic music genre that I really enjoy making still is house and garage. So I'll be making garage tracks maybe for other people. But in terms of like future bass and like electronic, like nice, like very electronic pop and house like you used to and never had and stuff like that, there's not going to be any more of that from me, at least not for a while, because I don't really make much of that in my production work, and but like I'll do it if someone is like wants a song like that and asks me to do it, I'll do it. You know, it'll be nice to come back to that at some point down the line for sure. That's the whole point, right? Of not being an artist is that I'm able to do whatever I want whenever I'm asked to do it or whenever I want. Isaac, hey man, how's it going? Charlie Garage sounds like a very interesting concept. Here, let me show you a few Charlie Garage songs and some other house songs that I made. Just last week while I was in the UK, I made a little remix of Telescope by Tennyson, which is house, and I thought it was cool. Here, take a listen to this.
Telescope, gently as I roll by stars into view. Other world, sun begins to flow. Your city's waking up. Foreign girl, floating far away. I'm wondering about you.
I'm back in France.
Writing down words you never know. I'm barely hanging on. I've got a heart full of falling stars. I think I'm falling for you.
Yeah, and I have a bunch of garage tracks. My favorite one I actually can't show you right now because Isaac has told me to put a short hold on it, so I'm not gonna play it. But I did make some earlier. This
Lost my way,
this
lost my way.
there's this one. Isaac told me to show it, so I will. There's wait, that's the wrong year. I need 2020. It's somewhere here. God, I made a lot of music in that year. This one. So yeah, I made a lot of garage, and I don't know where this conversation started, but yeah. So yeah, that's some garage. All right, let me continue here. Someone asked the end of Duumu. If you don't know what's going on, go check my Twitter or my Instagram or my Facebook page, and you will understand. What do you think of hyperpop? I think it's fine. Whatever. Not related to Duumu. What made you start releasing Charlie songs on labels? I just wanted to expand the project a little bit. I don't want to go too much into depth about other stuff outside of Duumu and stuff related to this decision because that's what people are here to see is answers. We want answers. Why are you started and why are you leaving us? And it's not personal. It's just for me. How did you learn to make music and work with the software? I've been doing it for 10 years. I just watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials. Pull a porter, make a garage specific alias for project. I have thought of doing that because I've made so much of it, but it's just not. I see. Okay, I'll address this. I'll address what I'm thinking here in just a moment. Can you say if there's going to be another alias, or are you planning on just sticking with Charlie and producing music for other people? For the time being, there was just Charlie and producing music for other people. That's all there's going to be. And this actually is a perfect segue into what I was just saying just before. So about, people asking about a new alias or starting an alias specific for certain genres and stuff. The whole point of me stopping Duumu is because I just don't really like being an artist anymore. It's something that I realized, especially throughout 2020 and the end of 2019. Being an artist, once you get to a certain stage, involves so much extra stuff. It involves, you have to do promotion, you have to do promo campaigns, PR campaigns. Whenever you release a song, you have to create so much media. Whenever you make a song, I mean, like, just look at how ridiculous this is. In my folder for the After You EP, look at all this stuff. Look at all the stuff I had to make, right? And that's not including these visualizers that are up here that I didn't use, all the footage for the music video. There's all the artworks, the track lists, the various streams and teasers, and this is like standard. This is almost nothing, but like it's so much work, and it's just, as much as I love making media and stuff like that because I love creating things on the computer, a lot of it feels like a chore sometimes. And that's one thing. Then there's also the fact that you get to a certain stage and you have to start playing live shows and performing, and I just don't like that. It's just not what I enjoy doing. Performing is just not at all something that I personally enjoy doing. I understand that many people love it and stuff like that, and it's just, for me, it's just not what I like doing. I like sitting here at my computer and making music. And by producing for other people or by doing stuff with Charlie, which is low pressure, Charlie is just me doing me. There's no pressure on that project, which is why that project is still continuing. But Duumu was a huge huge thing. And every time I had to release, I had a checklist with my manager. We'd send emails back and forth with things to do, and sometimes, most of the time, promo campaigns don't work, and so your song flops, and it's a lot of work and very little return, and a lot of it's busy work, and a lot of it's stuff that I don't personally enjoy doing, and that's why I quit. Well, not quit. That's why I put Duumu to sleep. um, it it's just because what I love to do is sitting down and making music, and by being just a writer and producer for other people, that's literally my entire job. I get to sit down with people whose music I enjoy, people that I look up to. Um, I get to sit down with them in a room or on a Zoom call or whatever, and I get to just make music with them. I get to take their their vision and make it real. And that's awesome. That's so awesome for me. Um and that's why I'm that's a huge part of the reason why Duumu is going away, other than the fact that I've um lost some of my connection to the project and stuff like that. But it's just, I get to do what I want. I get to make whatever I want. I get to do so many different styles in so many different, areas of music, and there's no pressure because I just get to sit down, make music, and send it. And that is truly what makes me happy, is sitting down and making music. Have you already signed a publishing deal? Yeah, I'm signed to Warner Chappell Asia at the moment. So, yeah. I don't know if Path actually left, or if they were just saying goodbye, and I like goodbye Duumu as a thing. But Path, if you're leaving, have a wonderful evening. If you're staying around, then sick. So that's a huge part of the reason why the project is coming to a close. It's just because I sort of realized it's not what I enjoyed doing anymore. Do you think the main reason you for ending Duumu is that you got released on Monster Cat when you were really young, didn't know how to manage the project, and ended up... Yeah, that's a huge part of the reason. I got signed to Monster Cat when I was 17. I was still in high school when I signed the Illuminate EP, and it sort of took me down a road that, like a path where I was no pun intended. It took me down a path where I essentially was just banging out release after release, and I never really had time to stop and sit down and think about what I wanted to do. And then 2020 came around, and I had a lot of time to sit down and stop and think about what I wanted to do. And again, anybody who was part of the whole, all of my regular viewers on Twitch throughout that year, I streamed so much, and I'm so thankful to all of you. I look back on that time very fondly, by the way. But any of my viewers on Twitch throughout that era know that I was making so many different types of music all the time, because I didn't feel like there was pressure for me to release songs. And I don't know, it's just like I got taken down a path where I didn't have time to think about what my project, like what I wanted to do in music. I was releasing music as my own name under an alias was all that I knew, because when I started posting music on the internet when I was like 13, it was a SoundCloud under an alias, and that's just how I got started in music, was just making music and posting it online as an artist, and that's all I knew. And I never stopped to think about what I wanted to do until 2020, when I had a lot of time to stop and think, and I realized, hey, this is not what I want to do. I want to make music. I just want to make music. I don't want any of this other shit on the side. I just want to make music. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of challenges to being a writer. There's plenty of things that are annoying about being a writer, specifically with regards to contracts and, setting up payments and stuff like that. And that's just as stressful, but there's so much less of it, in my opinion. What is it like being with Monster Cat, aside from how you feel about Duumu? How was Monster Cat? Okay. This is a deep subject for me. But signing with Monster Cat was simultaneously the best thing that could happen for me in my career, and also one of the worst things that happened to me. Don't get me wrong, the individuals at Monster Cat are amazing people. John going Quantum, Ori, those guys are all amazing, and I love them to bits. And anytime I go back to Vancouver, I'll be hanging out with them. But and at first, Monster Cat were great to me, and for the first like from 2017 to 2019, 2017 to up until the Talk EP, they were really great to me, and they were really supportive, and they really put in the effort to help me out. Since then, well, let's just say there's a reason I haven't released with Monster Cat in 2021. I don't want to go into too much detail because it's not the fault of any individual. I think it's just the way that the label was going. I disagreed with, and a lot of my release dates were being pushed around to make room for other artists, and I just didn't feel like I was being treated as a priority, despite the fact that I had been on their roster for 3 years. And that's why I stopped releasing with them this year. Also, the fact that I sent them a bunch of music and they didn't want any of it. But yeah, being with Monster Cat was really, really great, and for my career and stuff like that. But eventually, it sort of hit a point where the novelty was gone, and it was not that big a thing anymore. And then a few months after that, it started becoming somewhat annoying, just to an extent. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get on to the next Instagram question. So, Antares, also known as Drew or Honcho Machine or Mr. Vamos, for those of you who are avid watchers of my content, asks, and I think as a joke, what's it like to be free? And I know he says that as a joke, but it genuinely, like, that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm free, especially because, as I said, Duumu has been sort of on a downhill path for me for the past 2 years. I've been struggling a lot to connect with a lot of my songs and releases and stuff like that. Oh, have a good night, Isaac. Yeah, get some sleep, dog. And thank you. Yeah, we'll talk soon. And I saw your message above about coming to Singapore. I will definitely come to Singapore in 2022. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, Doom sort of been moved to the back of my mind for the last probably year and a half, and then I made the decision to stop the project, but I still had all these releases that I wanted to put out, and once that was, well, now that that's all done and I've announced it, it really does feel like a weight off of my chest, because again, like, put it into perspective, right? I made the decision to put the Duumu project to sleep on September 26th, 2020 was the official date that I talked to my manager about it. Since then, we've released Never Had, Waiting on You, the Burnt Out EP, and both singles from the After You EP. That's a lot of music that I've put out knowing that the project is coming to an end. Because the music industry works very slowly, and so a lot of these songs are done months before they're released. And so I just had this catalog of music that I wanted to put out before I left the project. And so for the past year, that's what I've been doing, is putting out this catalog of music that I have that I wanted to put out before putting the project to sleep. And now I'm finally able to announce that I'm putting the project to sleep, and it is liberating. It is liberating. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the end of Duumu, go check my Twitter or my Instagram or my Facebook page. I made a post about it. But yeah, I'm going away as Duumu. AP 1.4, who's an avid fan in the server. I don't know if you're here. Are you Bean King? Is Bean King? Are you AP? I don't know, because you guys both have 1.4 in your name. Anyway, asks, that's you. It's Bean King. It's Bean King. So Bean King asks, how many people have you told before announcing it? Did you tell Monster Cat and Warner beforehand? A few people. I told, actually, a bunch of my friends knew that like all of my close friends. I have a Discord server with 20 of my closest friends, and they all knew that I was putting the project to bed. Anybody who's like I knew personally well and like talked to and interacted with on a regular basis knew that I was putting the project to rest. So those people knew. Monster Cat had no idea, and Warner didn't know. But I'm not signed to Warner as Duumu. I'm signed to Warner as a writer, which is my legal name. So they don't actually care. Um, yeah. So I told a lot of my close friends. So truthfully, a lot of people did know. I think if I'm trying to like aim for a figure, I think something like 50 people knew before I put it out there in the world. What's your plan for the future? Yada yada yada. What ultimately led into making this decision to end Duumu? As I've said, um, it's been a long journey. Path asks if I've revealed about the hidden message in the trailer for the After You EP. So I revealed that on my Discord server, but for those of you who aren't in there, in case you didn't know, so let me pull this up. In the EP teaser for After You, the final one, if I can find it somewhere here. Wait, where is it? This was the first song. This one. In this teaser for After You, the EP that's coming out tonight / tomorrow. At the very end, you have this. And if you take that last frame, of course in a higher resolution, and you increase the contrast, what you get is, if I can find it, give me a moment. People on my Discord server talk a lot. You get this. And yeah, in before the Finan jokes, but whatever. I did put that in the EP teaser. So yeah, I know the Finan. Shut up. So that's in the EP teaser. The Finance EP. Yep. Nina says, we knew for a while too, keeping it under wraps was relatively easy, but it was kind of funny to see y'all hypothesizing over the announcement. Yeah. So when I did the announcement, I was actually in the UK, and I had a bunch of friends over at my friend's house. So I was staying with Jimmy / Stereo Cube. Andy is a very close friend of mine. I was staying at his house at that point. And we had invited over Takashi and Trifect and Toby and a bunch of my other friends. And we were all sitting in the living room watching the stream as it happened. And then Andy put in the chat about like something along the lines of, I wonder what the announcement's going to be. All I know is Charlie's booked a bunch of plane tickets, because I had told them over the previous days that a bunch of people are announcing tours right now, and so I was wondering if people would think that my big announcement during the stream was going to be a tour. But yeah. So someone asked, how did you get to meet Emiya on Instagram? And that's a fairly simple story. Emiya made a song with Knapsack, who is now Gabby Start, who just started his new project, Gabby Start, which is it's fucking amazing. She'd made a song with him, and I liked it, and I reached out to her on Facebook to make Forward, and then we made Forward. And then about a year later, I sent her a message, and I was like, hey, do you want to make some sassy pop? And then we made Talk. And then that's how it was. So between Forward and Talk, we didn't talk that much, no pun intended. Ugh. But then since Talk, we've become a lot closer. Charlie Project full time now? Yes, among other things, as I've mentioned. Someone asks, what does the indefinite hiatus mean for you and Monster Cat? Well, as I said, I think I said this to Swifter in the server, because Swifter asked, said, is this the last Duumu song ever? And yeah, it is. I don't see myself, so I called it an indefinite hiatus and not a retirement, because I feel like it's always best to keep the door at least a little bit open. So maybe, some years down the line, I'll have an urge to come back to the project. But in essence, it is a retirement, because I don't see myself coming back to the project. And realistically, I don't see myself starting an artist project again for a long time. So, yeah. And what it means for me and Monster Cat, it means nothing at all because I haven't released with them at all this year, and I wasn't going to. A bunch of questions about my music. What's next? Allo or Allow asks, "How are you feeling about the decision?" I'm feeling very good. As I said, it's a decision that I worked on for a while. It's a decision that I thought about for a long time, and let's put some music on in the background. I just realized it's very empty back here. It's a decision that I thought about for a long time, and then I came to it, and now it's been a year since I have made it, and I've just kind of, I'm owning it now, I guess. I'm owning it. Show the cake. What Winnie is referring to is, so when we had that, when I did that stream and I announced my retirement, and Takashi and everyone was around, Takashi bought a cake, like an Oreo cake, like a really nice cake actually, and bought a cake, and on it he had like ordered for it to just say, "Happy retirement, Charlie," or something like that. So. Oh, this is a great question. Will Twitch highlights still be uploaded / posted to the Duumu channel, or are you going to post them to the Charlie Makes Music YouTube channel? I was going to talk about this in a few days, but since you're asking, I guess I'll tell you. I actually have a new Mario Kart video ready from when we did that stream a couple weeks ago, the 3-hour stream. I'm just starting in it so the Duumu channel is obviously going to be gone. The Charlie Makes Music channel is going to be just dedicated to my production work and my music as Charlie. And so I've just decided to open this little YouTube channel just called Charlie with an exclamation point, where I'll be here. I'll show you this YouTube channel where I'll be posting just gaming videos randomly. It's not going to be a proper channel. It's just like a side thing. So don't look at this as like a, ooh, he's making a gaming channel. I'm not. This is just anytime because I like making gaming videos. They're fun to make. They're always fun to record and then fun to edit. Anytime I make one, I'll post it here. I'll post a link in the chat if I can. Yeah, I'll drop the URL. Can you fucking paste? There you go. So this is the channel. Anytime I make a gaming video, it's going to go there. I was thinking of, I'm going to put some Charlie music on because more of it's instrumental and it's hard to talk when there's music going on. So I have a video ready for it, which is the Mario Kart video. I'm going to remove the Mario Kart and Animal Crossing video, the original Mario Kart and Animal Crossing videos from the Duumu channel, and put them on this channel. And I'm also going to make a supercut of the best moments from the Twitch highlight videos that I made on the Duumu channel and just put them all on here. So, again, this is the channel. If you want to subscribe and check it out, it's not going to be a serious thing. It's not going to be a big thing. It's just whenever I make a gaming video, that's where it's going to go. And I'll post about it on my Discord server and stuff like that. But there you go. That's the answer to your question about the gaming content, which is a great question. I didn't think that was going to come up, but thanks for asking it, THZ. That was Nile. So Nile is spelt a different way, Taka, but yeah. You're done making music forever? No, not at all. As I said, I'm just not making music as Duumu anymore. Any other questions? The new gaming YouTuber, yeah. This isn't a question. I just want you to know I met a dog on the tube, and now that you've gone to Paris, the dog has replaced you. I have named her Mike. Good to know, Ataka. Is Speed Beats something you don't/didn't enjoy, or will it return at some point? I actually really like Speed Beats. Well, I like beat challenges. I love doing them with my friends and stuff like that. But turning it into an edited down video made it a chore, especially if I was doing it once a month. It definitely turned into a chore. But I do enjoy doing it on stream and doing it with my friends. So You'll definitely see more Speed Beats content stuff on my streams. Don't know if you'll see any of it. Well, you definitely won't see any of it on YouTube anywhere because I don't really have a channel to post it on anymore, and I don't want one. So Speed Beats will be stream content now, and it won't be a consistent regular stream. It just will be whenever I feel like it. In the future, if you had the opportunity to do a set again, would you still play Duumu music? To do a set again. So I did one show in my entire life. Well, technically two. I've done 2 shows in my entire life, both in Singapore, and I played some Duumu music, but it was mostly just a DJ set. I don't really know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. But yeah. Will there be a last chance to get a Duumu hat? Unfortunately, I don't know. If I can figure out how to put my merch up on Bandcamp, you'll be able to get them on Bandcamp. But my Duumu website expires next Friday. Not Friday tomorrow, but next Friday, my Duumu website expires and I haven't renewed it. And my manager only just got back to Singapore. So he's able to ship them now. But I'll try to put them up on Bandcamp until the stock has run out. So you'll be able to get it there. But I'll text my manager later tonight and ask him if it's good for me to, or if he's able to ship the hats again. Because if he is, then I'll enable the page back on the Duumu website for the next week before it expires. Beat challenges are more fun with friends. Yeah. Charlie, you should do mukbang. I don't think I'll do that. Any new genres you're excited to take a stab at? I have made everything under the sun at this point. I mean, I've made indie rock, I've made jazz, I've made pop, a ton of it. I've made R&B. I'm just excited to be able to do all of that and not feel like I'm wasting my time because I'm not making a new Duumu song. So yeah. Could do some Discord speed beats. Yeah, we could do some Discord speed beats. Production streams on YouTube will still upload them. I don't think so. Production streams on YouTube hasn't uploaded my streams since I changed the channel name. So, yeah. Have you made country music? Or ska? I don't think so. Swedish death metal. Charlie answered your question a few minutes ago, but you'll be able to see it in a VOD if he posts it. I don't know what question that was. Oh, hello? Yeah, the VOD for this stream will stay up, so yeah. Okay, let's go through these last few questions. Some guy asked the question, "Do you know Spanish?" which I thought was great. It's not what I had in mind when I asked people to ask me questions, but I appreciate the question. Oh, allow Ben, this guy. Okay, yeah, I did answer your question about, what was it about again? I don't remember. Oh, how am I feeling about the decision? Yeah. Someone asked, 2 people asked, and I guess this is the last time I get to explain this properly. Where does the name Duumu come from? So, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time in my life, the name Duumu comes from the combination of the words dubstep and music. When I started the Duumu alias when I was 15, I wanted to make a lot of virtual riot type stuff. And so I wanted to make dubstep and glitch hop and stuff like that because it was 2015. And so I was like, dubstep, music, D-U-M-U, let's throw another U in there because it's funny. And that's where Duumu comes from. That's literally the true story. So there you go. For the last time, that was the explanation of where Duumu comes from. Do I speak Spanish though? A little bit. I speak a little bit of Spanish. Where'd you get the name Charlie from? I was born with it. My mom gave it to me. My friend doesn't listen to your music at all, but is constantly like, hey, remember that dubstep music guy? That's funny. Nice. I'm not gonna answer that question, Taka. That's all the Instagram questions. So if you guys have any questions about this decision, about the future of what I'm doing, about Duumu in general, any question that a burning question you've had on your mind for years about Duumu that you wanted to ask, please ask it. Yeah. Can you guys stop with the can you guys stop? My favorite Duumu song is Not the Same, the one that I just released for the EP. That's my favorite Duumu song. Yeah. I wanted to say something, but I totally forgot. So I guess I'm not saying it anymore. Least favorite Duumu song. Oh, that's a controversial one, huh? I'll tell you my least favorite Duumu song. Let's go look through my discography and find my least favorite Duumu song. I'll tell you, there's a lot of songs that I've made that I do not like. Like, just straight up, if I could delete them, I would. Least favorite Duumu song. I mean, there's no way in hell I can say any of them without upsetting at least one person. I think from looking at my Spotify discography, it's got to be Take Me Away. I love Skyel, and I love the vocals that she did for this song, and she's amazing. But that song, in my opinion, is super subpar. Blinded. I hate Blinded. I had to finish Blinded. So I had like a quarter of a song, and I had to finish Blinded in like a week. Because okay, Blinded. I hate Blinded. Let me paint a picture for you. The year is 2019. I'd started Blinded in 2018, and I had like a quarter of a song, and I had and this was just after we had had a call with Monster Cat about the Talk EP, and they said, okay, they want this song, they want Blinded for Rocket League, and here's the thing: typically when you're distributing a song or distributing music, you have to give it to the label or to your distributor about 6 weeks to a month before it comes out, but with games, it has to be put in the game so much earlier. So in July of 2019, I had to finish Blinded in like a week. And I had like a quarter of a song, and I had to finish Blinded in like a week. And so I remember I was on my way to LA, and I stopped in Minneapolis, and my flight connection, my initial flight got delayed, so I missed my connection, and I was in the Minneapolis airport for 5 hours. So I worked on most of the music structure at that point. And then while I was in LA, I wrapped everything up, and I had to record the second verse vocals. And I just hate it. It sounds so rushed to me. The second verse vocals sound bad in terms of the way that I sung them and the quality of the recording that I had for them. I feel like the structure is rushed in the second half. Like everything up until the end of the first drop, and like including the house section after the boom 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 section. Everything after that point, I just don't like it. I just think that song is not good. So, you're of course entitled to your own opinion, and if you love Blinded, then that makes me very happy, but I just do not like Blinded. I think that song is probably my worst song on my discography. And then after that, there's Take Me Away, which, as I said, is a very subpar song production-wise, in my opinion. If I had to pick, like, my top 3, let's say top 5 favorite Duumu songs that I've made, well, that's hard. There's a lot of them. So there's Not the Same, in no particular order, but Not the Same definitely at the top. So number 1, Not the Same, and then 2 to 5 is in any order. All for Nothing, Talk, Forward, and Shifted. Those are my favorite songs. All for Nothing means so much to me as a song. It was the process of writing it was so amazing. And Shifted and Forward for me represent kind of the golden era of Duumu. Those songs, when I made them, they felt like a benchmark. They felt like a step up. And and they will always mean a lot to me for that reason. Even though the vocal mixing in Forward is egregious, it's so bad. She's so quiet. But yeah. What was the wildest moment for you around being Duumu? Like a moment of reflection or recognition that really hit you / smacked you in the face? I think any time that I look at my Spotify profile now and I see that like 5 of my songs have over 1 million streams is fucking insane. Also, it was in 2018. I flew to Singapore for like 4 days to go spend some time with my ex-girlfriend. And the fact that I was able to pay for that trip, that was like one of the first major trips that I paid for completely out of my own pocket. And, you know, I was able to pay for my flight tickets, for my Airbnb, for all my food, for all her food, and like all of that stuff. And that moment really stuck with me. I remember looking at a picture of the two of us in Singapore right after I'd come back. This was 2018, so before I lived there. Looking at a picture and thinking, I really did that shit at 19 years old. At the time I was 18. I was about to turn 19. But yeah, at 18 years old, I really had already gotten to a point where I was able to pay for, you know, a round trip flight and Airbnb, food and accommodation and stuff like that for almost a week by myself from music. That moment really hit me in the face. Yeah. Was Duumu a project that mainly focused on a certain form of self-expression during the 6-time-year period, so you're changing your alias for a different form of expression? So as I said before you arrived, I'm not changing my alias. I'm not making a new alias. I'm just focusing on Charlie and on production work now. And Duumu was definitely not focused on any form of self-expression. As I said earlier as well, when I was 17 is when I was signed to Duumu, to Monster Cat, sorry. And since then, I was kind of just caught up in the currents, like the fast moving currents of the music industry, and I never really had time to stop and think about what I wanted to do. And I mentioned this before. And so 2020 was really the first time that I really sat down and started thinking and reflecting on the type of music that I wanted to make. And the After You EP and the Burnt Out EP are very personal EPs for me. And of course there's some music from back in the day and other songs that were built on self-expression, but for the most part, most of my music as Duumu was just made for the sake of making it, which sounds sad, and it is, but it, you know, it's part of what brought me to where I am today, and so for that I'm thankful to an extent. I was hoping for the Bitbird comeback for so long. Well, I came back for Goldie and Finch 4. Whoa. Thanks for the 100 bits, Rare Pupper. Production with Mern in the future? Absolutely. I've told Manny and I are very close now, and of course after living in Singapore for 2 years and hanging out a lot, I've told him many times, if you ever need production, just hit me up. And yeah, I actually sent him some music a little while ago, and yeah. Can I just say that the Dissociated EP is so underrated as well as Reassurance? The Dissociated EP, I love that EP for a lot of reasons. I hate the way my voice sounds on it, though. I mean, it was the first time that I actually sang on my own music, and, you know, of course it's not going to be great, but yeah. How would you react if one of your Duumu songs became viral in the future? I would just be like, cool, that's awesome, that's a lot of money for me, but it's not going to change my decision. 2 questions. Sorry if I missed them already. What's the story behind Not the Same Spotify animated cover, and what happened to Have My Back with Lone Moon? I really love that song. I took Have My Back off of Spotify, and I took Lone Moon off the song on SoundCloud because Lone Moon is a terrible person. A horrible, horrible person in every imaginable way, and I will not go into detail about that because I do not want to get into it at all. It's just not something I want to talk about. Not now, not ever. And I just don't want to give her the time of day. But Lone was a horrible person, which is why I took her off the song, and at the same time I just took the song off of Spotify. What's the story behind the Not the Same animated cover? It's a clip from the music video that we made with Major. Not the Same is a song that is very personal to me. It was the first song, as I said in the stream, the EP listening stream. It's a song that started the whole EP for me, and it's just a song that I needed to make. Yeah, it's a song that I needed to make. I was in a really, really tough spot, and I just felt like making that song. And then the music video for it, it's a representation of all the time that's passed since the event that kind of propelled that song into existence. And so all of those clips in the music videos are clips that I filmed over the 2 years that I was essentially in Singapore, and that's what that is. Adobe X Duumu preview song when? I'll do it right after I've caught up to the chat. And don't worry about asking. If you didn't know, it's not your fault at all. Speaking of the stuff getting removed, why did the Faults EP get taken off Spotify? Maybe you gave a reason before, but I forgot. Okay, so as I said, being a 17-year-old on the internet making music was really weird a lot of the time, and I very, very often had like identity crises about what the Duumu project was and what I wanted it to be, and in those crises I would take songs down for no good reason, and Faults just was a victim of that. So there's no real good reason for it. And I'm sorry that it's gone from Spotify, but that's just what happened. Did you ever consider making a music video for Forward? No, but I know Emiya made an animated lyric video for it. But also, when I made Forward, I was way earlier in my career, and music videos weren't ever really something that I was thinking about at the time. Okay, you guys have been asking for it. So I'm gonna, and I did mention it, so it's my fault, but I'm gonna show you guys a little part of my song with Dobie that I made that is never coming out. But I did mention it, so let's listen to Duumu X Dobie. We're not gonna listen to the whole song, but I'll show you a bit of the intro, a bit of the first drop, and then the end of the song.
I wish someone would film the way I look at you. See the many things you did that made me crack a smile. A little bit of wonder in the way you move. How am I supposed to make it seem like I'm alright? Although we have our differences, I look at you and wonder what it could be like if we could fight. As the silence and my music tasted you. Didn't really seem to like, but I didn't mind.
Didn't wanna ask if I was just another girl that you could kiss, another girl that you could compliment.
So there's that. First drop is here.
Other guys.
Shoot, stupid.
And then I'll show you guys the end of the song now. This is my favorite part of the whole song. So there you go. That's parts of my collab with Dobie. So you've got your preview, you'll snippets now. Unfortunately, that's never coming out. Pretending just came on Spotify. Pretending just hit 10 million streams today. So someone said, THC asked, do you think you could create a B-sides for Duumu where you just drop all these IDs that you aren't going to release? I have thought about doing that, and maybe I will. But what's holding me back is two things. One, I couldn't put this song on and a bunch of songs on it because it's not just my song. It's me and Dobie, and me and Dobie together agreed that we didn't want to put it out there. And that's a decision that I respect from him, and it's a decision that I also was a part of, and so that's this song's just not coming out unless Dobie at some point in the future wants to rework it and then put me in as a writer or something like that. But that's something that only he can do and not something that I can do. And so you guys understand the position that I'm in here. As for other songs, the other reason that I'm sort of reluctant to do that is because that's a perk of my Patreon. My $25 patrons get access to a bunch of IDs and a bunch of stuff like that. And I feel like releasing a bunch of those into the, public would like negate that perk. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do it, but I don't think I will. So if you want to hear some IDs, come support me on Patreon. Maybe I'll move the ID stuff to $12 patrons. But yeah. Giving heavy underscore vibes. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. I love underscores. Who doesn't, right? I actually made an underscores edit a little while ago. It's on my Twitter. I don't know if you heard it. This thing. Hold on. Shut up. This thing.
I'm the one you sold your soul to, and I'm thinking it's about my turn. And I talk about myself like a pop star, baby.
Criticize a little something that I did because somebody had to. If I did a little something in the bathroom, could I get it past you?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Again, if anybody has any questions about the Duumu project, this decision, or anything like that, any questions about this stuff, do ask them. That's why I'm doing this stream. I just want to get it all out there. This is going to be the last proper Duumu stream. Well, one of the last, because I am going to do a breakdown stream of the whole EP after it comes out. Next week I'll do a whole EP breakdown stream, but that'll be it. So if you have any questions to ask about the Duumu project and the decision to leave and stuff like that, now's probably the best time to do it. Do you mind if I ask what happened to Goody with Roman Silver before it became his release Skin? I remember it from his IG story. Wow, you've got a good memory. Yeah, so if you guys know Skin by Roman Silver, who's a fantastic artist, that song actually started out as a collab between him and I called Goody. I wonder if I have it somewhere. Let me search. My spot. There we go. Oh, here it is. 2018. Hello? What's happening? There it is. You hear this? Yeah. So this song was made in 2018 with Roman Silver. It turned into Skin. You can hear it from the first drop. So that was his drop, and I worked on the intro a lot and stuff like that, and then I did this drop at the end, which was really fun. why am I not in the credits? Yeah, so the reason I'm not in the credits and it's not in my playlist and stuff like that is because Monster Cat and Roman Silver bought the rights from me. So they bought my parts off of me, and part of the contract was that I wouldn't be credited, which is totally fine. They paid a fair price for it, and yeah. But for those of you who didn't know, I participated in making Skin by Roman Silver. It was originally me and it was originally him and me, and then he turned it into a different song. And the reason we didn't release it was actually me. I wasn't entirely convinced the song was up to par, and so we came to the decision that we weren't going to release it. And then I told him, like, if you ever want to use these things in the future, feel free to. And then he did, and he made a fantastic song out of it. And Skin is an amazing song, and yeah. So there are a few questions here. Here's one that you might not have answered. Was there a song that you listened to that made you want to get into making music? Some songs just give me that energy to go and do stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I have a very vivid memory of listening to a really old Rogue song. What was it called? I know the song, I just need to find the name of it. Really, really old. Really, really old Rogue song. Is it gone? What was it called? Hold on. I gotta find this. Why is he so hard to find? Some people know the one I'm talking about. Like, close friends know the one I'm talking about, but I need to find the actual song. Is it just gone? It's just gone. Oh, Exogenesis. That's the one. Exogenesis by Rogue was the song that I was listening to Exogenesis by Rogue, and I was just sitting there on my mom's 2011 MacBook Pro, and I heard that song, and I was like, you know what? That's it. And then I went and looked for a GarageBand how to make your own music tutorial, because I had made music in GarageBand before, but it was just me rearranging arranging Apple loops. And then I heard Exogenesis. I went on YouTube, watched a whole 2-hour-long tutorial of a guy making a song in GarageBand, and then I made a song in GarageBand, and now almost 10 years later, here we are. Where did the umbrella come from? Sorry if I'm not answering your messages as they're coming in. I'm trying to keep up with all the questions. Where did the umbrella come from? It was, I don't remember what year it was, but it was a early years path. It was the Surreal Recording years, when we had a group chat on Facebook Messenger, which was all the Surreal Recording people in it. And it was a very rainy summer here in France, and I kept, like, every 2 days I was putting a message in that's like, holy shit, it's raining again, even though it's July. And then Babacon, or Alexander Panos, changed my display name on, like, my nickname in the chat to umbrella emoji moo, so like rain moo or whatever. And I liked that, and so I put the umbrella next to my name on my Twitter, and then it just stuck. It just became a part of my brand. I knew it had become a part of my brand when I started getting fan art of people drawing me with an umbrella before my logo was an umbrella. Like, back when my logo was a little DJ guy that Chuck Sutton drew in paint, people were drawing me with an umbrella. And then I was like, oh shit, this is part of my brand. And then when I was working with Andy to make a new logo, we were thinking of symbols to use in umbrella. Umbrella happened. Yeah, Chuck made that, yeah. Excited to hear what you're going to do after Duumu. Thank you, yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Hey, Felix. Very proud of you and the courage you showed in ending Duumu. Love you, man. Thanks, man. Love you too. We should hang out soon. When's the next skate stream? In a while, crocodile. Sorry. Beatbox real quick, I'll catch it for you. I can actually beatbox fairly well, but I'm not going to do it on stream. I know this is off topic, but are you hyped for Skate 4? Do you think EA will mess it up? I think it's going to be sick, and I'm just hyped for Skate 4. I don't really... Whatever. What emotions came up after you got the news you got on Monster Cat? So my admission onto Monster Cat was very slow. I think I may have told this story before, but um wait, is there a timeline for new music that you're involved in to come out? I don't know what you mean by that question. I wish I saw you yesterday for Slow Hours Party. Oh, that's a different person. Yeah, sorry. I was coming back from the UK, so I couldn't come to that event, but I was very I wish I could have come. Sorry. Yeah, my process of getting onto Monster Cat was very slow. Um so Mindsight and I made What Feels Right in 2016, and we sent it to. I mean, in true music industry fashion, we sent it to a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy in it, and that at the end of that line was John going Quantum, and we sent them the song, and they really liked it, and they wanted to sign it, but they wanted to sign a solo release from one of us first, so and they wanted to sign a solo release from Mindsight, and he just didn't want to do it. So eventually they gave up on him and just came to me. So I was second choice. I was not the first choice. Um so yeah, so 26 summer August 20, I remember this. August 2016 um was when What Feels Right got greenlit, and then it wasn't until in like February 2017 that Going Quantum hit me up, and then we put together the EP. And I was very excited at first, of course. But yeah. I hated the old logo, but I loved the umbrella. Yeah, I think the old logo was fun, but it was not very professional. What does that ring you wear mean to you, or is it just dope as hell? I've got two rings. So on my right hand, I got this one this year. It's my family crest on my mom's side, and I got this as a 21st birthday present, but I got it a year late because of COVID. And then on this hand, this ring here, I got when I was 18 years old, and it's my other side of my family's family crest. So this is maternal, this is paternal side. So this is the family crest of my last name. This is a Karada family crest on this one. And this ring actually, this exact ring was a ring that my dad offered to my mom after she gave birth to me. And my mom wore this ring for 18 years while I was growing up and shit like that. And then she had it like, change the design on it and change the size and stuff like that. And then offered it to me on my 18th birthday. And on the inside, there's an inscription that just says Charlie 2505 1999, which is my birthday. But yeah. So paternal family crest, Karada family crest, maternal family crest. Family crests, that's cool. Must be a French thing. Definitely not. It's a European thing and an Asian thing for sure, though. And my family name Karada is not French. It's Japanese because I'm half Japanese. So Japanese family crest on this one. French family crest on this one. There you go. Two halves, one whole. Super love that. Yeah. But this ring I've had on for years, and then this one I've had on for just like about a month. But there you go. This one does look like an engagement ring or like a marriage ring. So, to be honest, I'm sad the Duumu project is ending, but excited to hear what new projects and stuff you have in the future. Yeah. So, for any new viewers who weren't there at first, let me re-explain real quick what I'm doing in the future because, yeah. So I'm doing Charlie full time now, but also and most importantly and mostly I'm doing production work for other people. And so if you go to that link that I attached to my announcement, the link tree, the Duumu link tree link, and you click on the website link from there, you'll be brought to my production work website, and you can listen to all of my production work. And I'll be posting about all this stuff on my Charlie Instagram. And so if you want to keep up with all my music, that's where it's gonna, where it's gonna be. So yeah. Married to the grind. A while ago, I heard you say that you don't like serum. How come? Heart. I love that. It's not so much that I dislike serum. I just think it's super overrated. It's marketed and like lauded. I don't know. It's marketed and put out there as this essential tool that musicians need to use, but it's just not. Um, it's a cool plugin, but whatever, you know. So I'd rather people use like Vital, which is like Serum, but it's free and doesn't cost $150. So there you go. What is one? What is the one part of yourself that you think has changed positively the most since the Duumu? During the Duumu era? Wow, that's hard to say because it's 6 years. Um, and like for almost half of that, I was in school, and I've changed so much as a person. But I think it's just like my confidence in myself since I left high school. Um, so I left high school in 2017, as I said, about I don't know 6 months, 4 to 6 months after the Illuminate EP, and um, I mean throughout school and throughout most of my early life, I was a very shy kid. I was a very insecure kid as well. And then I got out of high school, and Duumu started doing really well. And I started to be surrounded by people who were interested in the same things as me, as I was going to school for music and stuff like that. And so now I'm a lot more confident as a person, you know? I know that I'm good at making music, and I know that I'm a good person. I don't know, like, I'm confident in who I am. I'm comfortable in my own shoes. I'm unapologetically myself. And that is something that was, I think, largely given to me by the fact that Duumu was a successful project and people sort of gave me respect off the bat just from that, which is a terrible fucking thing that people do in general, right? Like, the fact that if I have clout, people will treat me better is fucked up. But the reality is that fact meant that people respected me, and as such, I grew to have more confidence in myself. What's going on? Why don't you have a producer tag? I used to have one, but it was made by my ex-girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, who was very abusive, and so I don't use it anymore. What happens when someone redeems the collab award now that Duumu's gone? I think we calculated, and it would take something like 400 years to get to 1,000,000 channel points, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But hey, if it does, if someone hits 1,000,000 channel points and redeems that collab award, I'll just be your producer and writer, right? There you go. Are you open to giving feedbacks to songs artists send you if you're able to / have time? Again, this is a perk that's on my Patreon, is like feedback sessions. So I try not to do it too much outside of Patreon, but if you send me a song, I'll tell you if I think it's good or not, right? I'll be like, this sounds good, or here are a few things you need to fix, but I really won't go in depth. I will do it for the collab. Path, you know that you can literally come to me at any point and ask for me to work on a song, and I'll do it. Gonna be a throwback for sure, but what did you feel when that Russian guy made a huge article about you? That was crazy. I remember that. Fand was his name, F4ND. Yeah, he went in with that article. He like spent like a year writing it, and it was crazy, and it was a huge honor, to be honest, for someone to put that much effort into something about me. So that was crazy. The cute little Duumu? Yeah, that's the one. And Bean King is right, not that cute, considering she was abusive as hell. Oops. An article like that, and I still never got verified. Right? How fucked up is that? Okay. It seems I've answered most of your questions, talked about things. So unless anybody has any other questions to ask, just ask them. You going to bed after this? No, I'm gonna chill for a while. I might hop on Discord. Yeah. Well, okay. Just in the VC. No, I'll hop in. I mean, like hop in a private Discord with my friends. But yeah. When are you saying that's an early April Fool's? No, I'm terribly sorry. It's not an early April Fool's. This is for real. Do you play any video games? We're getting off topic now, but yeah, I play a lot of racing. Well, I play 2 racing games. I play Forza Motorsport 7 and F1 2020, and then I play Mario Kart, and then I play Minecraft, and I play Skate 3. And that's mostly it. Okay, we're getting off topic now. So I'm gonna wrap this up. That's funny. Oh, what's the inspiration behind the Talk EP artwork? Found it during high school and it helped boost my aspirations to be a graphic designer. I worked on that with my ex. She drew the illustrations and I did the design around it. I remember just sending her the EP and the song. Well, of course, she was my girlfriend at the time, so it's not like we were just like, it's not like I wasn't showing her music, but and then I just told her, listen, just go with it, draw. Whatever your vision is, I'm good with it. And she gave me 2 options, and I liked that one, and so there you go. When are the Charlie hats dropping? Never. As I said, my whole thing is to not be an artist. So the Charlie Instagram is the only social media I'm gonna have, other than my personal Twitter. But in terms of like Charlie stuff, the Instagram is the only thing I'm gonna have, and then this Twitch, that YouTube channel, that's just gonna be for me to do whatever I want. I'm a free man now. I literally said this when I was answering your question earlier. You missed it, Drew, but you asked me, how does it feel to be free, which I assume was a joke, but that's genuinely what it feels like for me. So, yeah. Was Burnt Out foreshadowing? Not really. Burnt Out was just an independent project. Both Imagine and I were burnt out at the time, but yeah. Will the Patreon stay mostly the same? Yeah, Patreon will stay mostly the same. I've got plenty of songs to break down still. Hey, Bryce. I got plenty of songs to break down still. I've got plenty of stuff to, plenty of people to talk to in terms of feedback and stuff like that. So if you want to support me on Patreon. I'll be changing the URL to /CharlieMakesMusic, and I'll be changing the name to Charlie, but if you want to help me out, Patreon's a good way to do it. Otherwise, just listen to the music that I make. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. It's been an hour and a half, and I think I've answered most of the questions that people were hoping to get an answer to. Go ahead, Winnie. Ask your question, then I'll wrap up. Why did you send Ronnie to my island? That's why. How do you feel about closing this chapter? Last question. Sorry, I feel good. As I said, it's a decision that I made about a year ago. That since making it, my mind hasn't changed. And it's a decision that was really in the works for a long time, and I think it's the right one. So, yeah. The Duumu funeral happened when I played the EP on stream. All right, let's wrap things up now, guys. There will be one more Duumu related stream, which is going to be next week at some point, when I do a breakdown stream of the whole After You EP. If you live in Europe or in Asia, if you live in Europe, the EP comes out in 20 minutes. If you live in Asia, it's out. If you live in the US, it's coming out in a few hours. I hope you guys will listen to the EP on Spotify and stream it, because it means a lot to me. That, as I said during this stream, this EP is the most important thing that I've made personally, and so I hope you'll listen to it and enjoy it, and share it with people that you love. So yeah, and I'll be doing a breakdown stream of it, and then other than that, this is the last Duumu stream. So this is gonna be sappy, but like, thank you genuinely for all your support, to everybody who's found me either through Charlie or Duumu or anything. It genuinely, like, I could not be doing this for a living if it wasn't for you. So, I mean, it's hard for me to ever convey how much your support means to me. And I hope that at least you guys here in the chat, since you guys are super fans of some sort, I hope you guys will stick around for my for the future of my project. For my production work. I hope you'll stick around on the Discord server so we can keep hanging out and having fun. Hope you'll keep hanging out on Twitch so we can you know, hang out and have fun. I'm really happy that you guys are around. I'm really glad that you guys are supporting me, and I'm at a loss for words. But yeah, thank you for everything. Thank you for I love fan made videos of my music. Those are awesome. Thank you for everything. Thank you for coming to the stream, and I hope I'll see you guys around. So, yeah, see you around.